love you, I'm dreaming. Ayo, I say yo, you smile, I'm beaming. Ayo, I say yo, I love you, I'm dreaming. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Dream, dream, dream on the way back home. Dream, dream, dream on the way back home. Ayo, I say yo, I love you, I'm dreaming.
All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today is a very special episode. By popular demand, we are going to be having an episode with call-ins on dreams. Now, these dreams are all recent. Again, if you are calling into 224-400-MARF, that number will be down below in just a second. But remember, these are all dreams in the last 2 weeks or so. So remember that rule before you call in. If you're not into dreams, this isn't going to be the show for you. But to make up for it, tomorrow we're going to be doing another regular call-in, so tune back in tomorrow. Again, we will be right back right after this. Nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably and do not necessarily reflect my opinion, Dex's opinion, or anyone else who works with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. If you have not already, it helps us out if you end up going through any of our affiliates, and it helps you out if you end up protecting yourself against cybercrime. NordVPN is one of the best and one of the easiest to use. If you do not have a virtual private network, it protects your IP address, which is your online identity, which actually connects to your real address and everything else. It also connects to you. If you know anything about how they are data logging and basically getting your profiles down, you can prevent that by having a VPN. Nord is, again, one of the easiest. Download it. It's like an on switch and off switch. All you have to do. Go to marfooglenews.com/VPN. Not only will you get a giant discount on this, but you will also be helping us. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate everyone that goes through any of our affiliates. Can't say thank you enough.
Ayo, I say yo, I love you, I'm dreaming. Ayo, I say yo, you smile, I'm beaming. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Dream, dream, dream on the way back home. Dream, dream, dream on the way back home. Dream, dream.
All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. Today is a special episode, so I do want to remind everybody, today is going to be an episode with callers. You can call in about your dreams. Now, these dreams, the rules are set by Jacob Israel, who we will bring in just a moment, are going to be interpreted by, of course, him, and they are supposed to be within the last 2 weeks, or recent dreams. Jacob knows a whole lot about them. You will understand once he starts kind of breaking down what the dreams are. This isn't a show for everybody. That's why we have tried to give a week warning and give you a ton of community posts and different things, letting you know that a lot of people are excited for this, but there's a few that are like, I don't want to hear dreams. That's fine. We will be back tomorrow with a regular call-in show. Today is going to be your dreams, and it should get pretty interesting. So before we get started, I do want to remind you, you can go over to marfooglenews.com and sign up for notifications if you have not received them from the different platforms, and make sure to get them from us. You can go over there and also sign up for email alerts. Now, today's show, all of the info, including Jacob Israel's channel and all of his info, will be over there. We always put a full bibliography of every single article, tweet, video, picture, document, and source that we have over here. Today, it's going to be pretty light. It's going to be his channel. Again, you'll look at today's show. You'll click on Dream On. It's all done by thumbnail. Dreams, Nightmare, Dream On. Once you click on that, you will see that there is a page for today's show. By the way, if you haven't watched yesterday's show, that is also available there. Make sure to go over and check that out. Europe buying iodine by the millions. Of course, talking about Moldova, basically stocking up on it. So make sure to check that show out, and then make sure to also subscribe to our sister channel, Marfoogle News. All right, before we get started with Jacob, let's bring in Dex. Dex, are you there, my co-host / internet brother?
Well, hello, Adam. Hello, Foogle fam, and I am doing just fine.
So the number to call is 2244-006273. That's going to be scrolling down below. Today is a dream show only. So if you're calling with information about Afghanistan or deployments or a drone or a UFO sighting, that would be for tomorrow. We are actually turning a news-only show tomorrow into a call-in show. So remember that. Make sure to call in, and again, tomorrow night. Let's bring in Jacob. Do we have Jacob Israel, and are you there? Which, by the way, if you don't know, Jacob Israel is closing in on 200,000 subscribers. He's been on YouTube a very long time. He is a very, very wonderful man. He is the same on and off camera. He is also a family man. He is an incredible person, and he has always been absolutely the sweetest man to me. He is he's been one of the only people to call me through tough times, and he has interpreted quite a few of my crazy dreams. Jacob, what's going on, and how are you doing?
What's happening, Foogle fam? Oh my goodness. This is going to be so awesome. I used to have a radio show, a dream interpretation call-in radio show years ago, probably maybe 12 years, 11 years, 10 years ago. And I loved doing it. I never had the know-how or the tech of you and Dex to be able to bring it to my channel, besides people calling my cell phone, and that wouldn't work. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. There's a lot for people to learn today. I mean, this is I think a lot of people, when they hear the word, dream interpretation and all that jazz, they think, oh, this is all woo woo and all kookadoo. But, the song that you listen to that you love, came to somebody in a dream, like yesterday, Paul McCartney's, right? The sewing machine was invented by Elias Hose. He had a dream of somebody was stabbing him repeatedly. Like the molecule breakdown came to someone as a dream. Everything you could think of, Einstein's theory of relativity came to him in a dream. There's something to this. The scriptures, it's all over the scriptures. All over the scriptures. A third of the Bible has to do with dreams and visions. There's a great proverb that says, my people, they starve for their lack of vision. And many people think it has to do with just like, we don't have a purpose or anything. And that has something to do with it, but really it has to do with these dreams and visions, which we're going to talk about tonight. Once again, I'm not like, so I can't tell everybody that what I'm going to say is 100%. That's the interpretation. I just do my best. I kind of, I do a little praying before I come on here. And, it's worked in the past. I kind of am everybody's go-to guy. I don't know how many dreams you've sent me. You've sent me more than a couple. And they're always interesting.
Yes, indeed. Especially, focusing on the stuff that I do, I'm sure that has something to do with why my dreams are so, insane and weird. And but I also have had dreams since before I ever did this, and all of my dreams since I was 17 years old have been related to end times. And, most people, when they hear anybody say end times or this or that, they think of the guy on the corner of the street with the cardboard sign saying end times are nigh, and they're crazy and they're cuckoo. But I think that a lot of us have these dreams, and we have these kind of visions of what's going on, and most of us ignore it. But I really didn't, and it's kind of guided my life the whole time. I think that, we're all put here for a purpose, and my purpose may have been, just to be here and be myself and to tell people that they should be paying attention to what's going on. Out of all the years that humans have been around, it's just insane that we are living during the technological age, this huge advancement, this huge changing of everything around us, our culture, everything has just flip-flopped since the 80s. In just 3 decades, everything is different. Absolutely everything. Somebody from the 70s would go, what the heck happened? If somebody time traveled from the 70s to now, again, it wouldn't be what, the 70s futuristic flying cars book said, but they would even be more confused, because it's more confusing with all the technology and everything that we have. So I think this will be very interesting. Again, today is dreams only. So remember, if you do call in, dreams and recent dreams in the last 2 weeks.
Let me tell everybody why too, is there's a reason that people want to say, well, I had this dream when I was 12, and they're like 73. Well, you know, that dream was relevant to the world and their world in particular, probably back then. And it could be relevant today as well. But really, you know, there's so much going on right now. And so I have like no doubt we're going to hear some things tonight that is going to correlate to what's going on in the world. And another thing too, that I think people get excited about, because this is like, you know, the scriptures are very clear about how important dreams are. In the book of Joel, you want to talk about the end days, the end times, that this is when God pours out his spirit upon all flesh. And what ends up happening is old men dream dreams. You know, you and me, we're old men, right? We're dreamers. Others have visions that are younger. This is the day that we're in. In the book of Job, the scripture says that, you know, man sleeps, he slumbers on his bed. God speaks once. He speaks twice to man while he slumbers on the bed, in a dream, in a vision of the night, in the dark of night. God speaks to us while we're sleeping. Okay. It's huge. You ever Google something? Well, guess what? Google came to Larry Page as a dream, which hence another reason why it's such a goofy name. So there's something to it. I didn't go to school for this stuff. For whatever reason, it just clicked with me. My channel, as big as it is right now, right? Okay. So it took off because I was on YouTube for a minute since it first came out. And it wasn't until I had a dream of something I didn't want to talk about. And I knew for about a month going into it, because I had all of this confirmation that I needed to talk about this Planet X, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. And I wasn't into that stuff. I wasn't into aliens. I wasn't into all this kooky stuff. Okay. Because back then, you know, I just cared about the things of God, you know, and I was just becoming a reputable theologian. Right. So what ends up happening is I start talking, I'm going and doing speaking engagements. And then I told everybody, because I had a weird dream, that in about, 5 years time, 6 years time, the world was going to be like bonkers. Like basically what it is today. But you got to remember, back in 2015 or so, it wasn't like that at all. I mean, it was all right. And so people were like, you're kooky, we're never going to listen to you again. So then I start getting my reputation back. And then I have this dream about Planet X, Nibiru, and a terrible nightmare. And in the dream, I was running around and I was apologizing to God for not doing the show on this, planet and aliens and occupation and all this weird stuff that I really wasn't into. But I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to do it, because I had so much confirmation, and the nightmare was like, if I don't do it, I'm in trouble. And I figured, what the heck? So I just told everybody. I put the video out. At that time, I had like 500. I could tell you exactly how many, because I had 540 subscribers for like years. And the very next video that I did on that subject, because once I got the first one out of the way, went viral. So the reason why we're here right now is because of a dream. So I take them seriously. Once again, I don't know if what I say means anything. I'm not going to a dream as my account, but I do know, as other prophets of the past, and I'm not calling myself a prophet, I'm talking about the Bible. People in the past, they would say things like, I can tell you tell me your dream, Pharaoh, right? Joseph said this. I pray God gives me the revelation of it, but I can't tell you for sure. And Joseph ended up getting out of jail because of dreams, his interpretation with the, Pharaoh, 7 years of plenty. All over the scriptures, dreams have meaning. And I'm telling you, if you can open your eyes to a little bit more, because the world is a very tough place. And if you can understand the symbols of these certain things, most of these symbols come right from the scriptures. A snake, you got a liar in your midst. You just look at these things. We're going to have fun. And I can't wait to get into it. But
by the way, I don't know if you've seen it yet. There is a show called Sandman, and it was hard for me to get through the first episode. It had a lot of weird symbolism in it. They were definitely pushing for a certain thing in the show that a lot of these shows are pushing for. Immediately, they have to get out of the way that they have... essentially they have two men that are very best friends. Then the very next 10 minutes, then it's about a woman and her very best friend. They basically they wanted to make it sure that it was culturally safe, but so much so that there was no normal relationships for the first episode. But I wanted to point that out because, it's getting a lot of talk about this show because it's controversial and this and that. And I think it already got canceled or something. But it was a very interesting show. It's about the Sandman and about the god or the king of dreams and how he goes in and how he's powerful. And it shows all these different scenes of hell and his siblings, fate and destiny and fear and whatever else. And you see a lot of this stuff in Hollywood and where they're shooting these shows. But I did think a part of the show was interesting is when they actually put, he goes in and he needs to get some of his stuff back that was stolen. He gets captured by a mortal and he has to talk to the Fates. And the Fates are like these three sisters or whatever that are 3 in 1 and 1 in 3 and whatever. And it has some, realism to certain mythology and then he goes into people's dreams and he explains, and the cinematography of it was actually really good. He goes into different people's dreams, and like you said, he goes in and he sees a snake, and he narrates it and says all of these different things that certain things mean when you see them in your dream. There's certain symbols in your dream.
Oh yeah,
that
like a tornado is a big symbol.
Yep.
Whether it's black, whether it's gray, whether it's white, there's so. I mean, this is
falling. Your teeth falling out. You're flying. The world ending. This thumbnail. I tried to put a few of like the big popular ones, but there are certain things that those mean. I also wanted to answer just a couple questions about today. By the way, I just want to make sure that everybody is being polite down there. Also, it is a dream-only show. Thank you, Dorothy Tucker says, what if you don't remember all of it? That is totally okay. I believe as long as it's a recent dream.
I'll help you get through it. Believe me, a lot of people, when I meet people and I feel like I'm supposed to meet them, I always ask, have you had a dream within the last couple of days? And that's usually confirmation for me that everything went on time and was going according to plan. And I can almost always guarantee I know what their dream is because they're meeting me at that certain point in time. So a lot of people say, I can't remember. But I'll ask questions. I'm like, was it night? Was it day? These things are important, whether it's night or day, whether, were you inside? Were you outside? But many times if I this is where it gets cool because I'm going to take notes. I'm going to do this, Adams. I'm going to take notes. And once again, just have patience with me because I'm going to write down as you're telling me the dream. I'm going to write things down. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to say, okay, look around you in the dream right now. Is there windows? Is there a window closed? And I'm going to insert things that I think that it could be, which would lend me to a certain direction spiritually, I think, which I've done that with you, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
you actually predicted a few things. Like you said, was there a lot of water? And I was not even talking about anything related. And I wasn't even to the part where I told you I was in a flood and I was halfway up a broken down house where I could see straight through the wall because it was gone.
Hugely symbolic.
It
hugely
tripped
symbolic.
me out. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask people questions and just bear with me as I write these things down because I'm going to take like certain notes and then we'll see where we go. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Okay, and we're going to start taking calls here. For Love of Country 1 says, hi, Jacob. I watch you all the time. So for Love of Country 1 says, hi. Mary Heltke, thank you for the massive support. Today's show. Joanne Morense says, shout out to Adam Dex and the mods. Thank you for keeping it real and allowing everyone's opinion. Breath of fresh air. Joanne Morense, as long as it's polite and as long as it's structured in a polite way, I think everybody should be able to politely state their view without arguing. I mean, that's the whole point of this, as long as you're not being a jerk or talking down. Also, no talking down about the callers, just to get that out of the way. We don't talk badly about other creators. Even if creators are talking about badly about us, we don't talk badly about other creators. We do not talk badly about other people. We don't smash on each other's opinions. General rules. And guess what? The thing is if you really do give it a chance, you will have a fun time. We're gonna have a good time today and basically let this roll where it's gonna roll. It's gonna be off the top, and Jacob is gonna be, of course, taking callers. I'll be trying to pull up pictures that are relevant to the dreams. And again, this is a show that people have asked for now. What, Jacob? Like since I met you 3 years?
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. We've talked about it quite a bit too. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and maybe there will be other ones in the future. We'll see how this goes. And then, by the way, thank you everybody that popped into D Live as well. Also, just a quick announcement: we're going to be expanding on more platforms very soon here, so stay tuned for that. And make sure to hit subscribe. Not only on my channel, but over on Jacob's. If you haven't already, it would be great if we could let Jacob hit 190,000 today. That's another milestone.
Yeah, I'm really close too.
Oh, you're super close. So let's get a few more people over there, and we'll keep refreshing throughout the show, and hopefully we will get you there. And then, again, thank you guys for coming over. Dex, how are we on the phones as far as the number is 2244-006273.
We're ready, Adam.
Okay, perfect. And it looks like, let me pull up who we have here. It looks like the first one is Sarah, a first-time caller. It's a recent dream calling out of Idaho. Sarah, you can pop in now.
How are you, Sarah? You probably have it muted like I did.
He's getting her, and it looks like she's popping in now.
Oh, this is exciting. Great name, Sarah.
And by the way, End is Near, thank you for the ice creams. Vicky K, Release the Quacken. Jem, thank you for modding over there. Appreciate your attendance. Thank you so much. Christy Roselle, thank you. Again, thank you for the support. And Full of Grace Homestead. Sarah, do we have you?
And Adam, we're having a problem getting Sarah unmuted, so give me just a moment, and I'll get her back online.
All right, and remember the number is 2244-006273. Somebody asked if they can call from UK. I don't know how you do that. Maybe DuckDuckGo it. But again, see if you can use an online phone. You might be able to sign up for an online text phone and then call in. All right.
Can I share, while we're waiting for her, can I share, I had like 3 to 4 dreams consecutively last night, which isn't that normal to have the same dream again and again and again. But like you dream it, you fall asleep, you wake up, right, and then it picks up
continues
where you left off.
Oh, those are the best.
So I had one last night. It was very. I was in Mexico, and I pulled up. I was just trying to get I think I was trying to get a tortilla, and for whatever reason, I was trying to get some kind of food, and I turn around and they stole my car. And then I turned to the guy and I said, they just stole my car. Can you get it back? And he pulled out a gun and he shot me in the stomach. And what's weird about all this is then, and it continues, and I'm running around and I'm looking for somewhere where I can get this wound, attended to. And, your initial response when you start, your stomach is usually symbolic of where things are birthed. Okay. So it would be like your womb, if you will. So when you get shot there, it's something that, something's trying to stop you from birthing something. That's so symbolically, I was looking at it that way. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute, because I've done this before in the past where I usually, most of these dreams have to do with me specifically, but recently I've noticed they may have to do with what's going on in the world. Right. So I think, oh my goodness, this is going to be maybe a kind of a lash of crime because of food, and it's going to have to do with maybe possibly, migrants and a crisis there. And I thought to myself, because it was weird because my daughter was there too, so I thought this was more local, but I was, for whatever reason, I was in Mexico, but I wasn't. So I don't know, but for whatever reason, I felt like things are going to get ugly, in certain areas over certain things. So there's always two ways of looking at things. And so tonight I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to, kind of think what I think it could mean, symbolically. And then hopefully with other people, so usually with me, it's harder for me. It's easier when I deal with other people because I get too personal with it. So I just, once we get Sarah on the line or whoever else,
she is on right now. She is, Sarah's on.
Right on, Sarah. Welcome.
Hi, Jacob.
Hello. Welcome to the Dream Show.
That's
this
awesome.
Is exciting.
Okay, so when did you have the dream? Was it recently, hopefully?
It was 9 days ago.
That counts. That was good. Was this a dream that you woke up in the morning and you're like, wow, this is, and maybe you told somebody close to you?
I did. I woke up from this dream feeling very inspired to try to somehow express it on paper, the last portion of it, because it was so
Okay, so you
overwhelming.
thought to yourself, I need to write this down. This is important.
or
And now
draw it out.
right. Okay. And 9 days ago, did you know that we were going to be doing a dream show and you'd be the first caller?
No.
So do you find that significant at all? Because I do.
Possibly.
Very cool. I'm glad you wrote it down because that helps. All right. So
Oh yeah.
let's take me from the beginning. Did the dream start off, and I'm just trying to get a gauge of who you are. Did the dream start
Okay,
off in darkness? Was it
maybe
night- was it
felt
nighttime?
dark.
Okay, it felt dark. Was it you were indoors and not outside?
I was outside in a park.
Okay, so now how you don't know if it was, because you said it was maybe dark. If you're outside,
It felt dark.
it felt dark, but was there light near you? Because
Not that I remember.
okay, so possibly it was nighttime.
Well, I was a child, so in this portion of my dream, I was like maybe 6.
6 years old.
and
Okay,
I
perfect. Go on.
Light enough that I could see what was in front of me. I was on a merry-go-round.
Okay, oh good. That's good. Hang on one sec. Merry-go-round. Go ahead.
And it felt like it was automated, like it just very slowly spun around. And there was a boy in front of me that I went to elementary school with.
Hold right
And
there
he
for
was
1 second.
he was
Hold right there for 1 second. Do you remember the boy's name?
Jaron,
How do you spell that?
Jaron.
Okay, Jaron. That's a very significant name. I don't know what it means. I have an idea. All right. So an automated merry-go-round that was moving slowly. Was it clean?
And there was a
cleaner. Was it clean or dirty? Was it rusty or new?
I don't know.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, so go on. You're 6 years old. Were you dressed in like a communion dress?
No, I was just dressed in like what I would call comfy clothes. Like it felt like I was in something that I would run around in as a kid, like maybe sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Okay, so comfy clothes. So not pajamas though, right?
No, not pajamas.
Were they dirty or were they clean?
Clean.
Ooh, I like that. Do you know if one of them was white? Because see, I said when I said
Yes, my t-shirt was white.
okay, that's what I was saying. Because see, when I said, was it like a communion dress? Now, the reason why I'm saying that, there's a reason why I'm saying that. I'm not like, getting premonitions. I'm trying to establish the spiritual state that you're in. A dress like a communion dress would be a white dress, or because you're too young to have a wedding dress, right? So you're still spiritually, you're still new. You're still a child. I mean, I don't know if that's the case in your real life, but I would say most likely you're approaching a time where you're just, we'll say the Christ is just starting. You're still kind of a child. You're growing up, right? You're still kind of getting there. And so the fact that it's white, comfy clothes, that's great. Comfy clothes means you're relaxed and everything else. Please tell me if you had no shoes on.
I had shoes on.
Do you know what kind of shoes? Were they sneakers or were they?
They were zip-up shoes. Like they had no laces and they had zippers on the side with the zipper.
Comfy
Sorry?
sneakers, like comfy sneakers,
Yeah.
like Skechers.
Yeah. Like easy to put on shoes.
Okay, but your clothes are clean. Your shirt is. Do you know? Were you wearing like sweatpants? What were you like? What color was the sweatpants? Do you remember?
I feel like I was wearing something like sweatpants, like light pink.
Light pink. Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah, colors have significance too, by the way. Nothing bright in this dream to this, nothing standing out to you at first. It's dark. You're on this automated merry-go-round.
It feels dark, yeah.
It feels dark, but
right. And there's a witch, like a Halloween witch that's
okay,
standing.
wow, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Where was the Halloween witch? Was it a real witch or was it like a
Yes.
Yes,
she was
witch?
real.
Okay.
And she was mean.
Okay, so start again and just tell me, and I'm going to try not to interrupt you.
Start from the beginning.
You're a 6-year-old girl wearing comfy
so
clothes.
Around 6 years old. I'm on this automated merry-go-round that's going very slowly. There's this boy from elementary school in front of me, and he was a very frail built child. He like very small boned.
Was he sick?
Very pale skinned.
Was he a sick
He was not
person?
sick.
Okay.
His mother was sick with cancer, but he wasn't sick.
Okay. Mother had cancer. Okay. Were you were good friends?
And he had yeah. His mother watched me as a child, so I knew him
that's
pretty
very
well.
significant. That's very significant. Okay. All right, go on.
And this Halloween witch, she was dressed like your typical like black pointy hat, painted green skin, warts, all that. She had a hatchet, and as we were.
What does a hatchet usually chop down? Does anybody know? Say it in the live chat. Hatchet chops down trees, right? That's usually the significance of an axe or a hatchet. She had an axe, but she wasn't. Was she coming at you with the hatchet or no?
Well, every time. So it was me and this boy, but I could sense that there were other children also on this merry-go-round. And every time we passed her, we had to give her a penny. And she would let us continue. But if we didn't have a penny, the hatchet was for her to chop our head off with.
Wow.
And so the boy in front of me doesn't have a penny. And I know that he doesn't have a penny. And I'm getting really anxious as we're starting to approach the
Can I tell you, Sarah? Sarah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. When you find out what the penny means, and when you find out what this dream means, this is a cool dream. I'm so glad you're the number one caller. All right. So, and the fact that he didn't have a penny, go on. Okay. So you needed a penny.
So I'm trying to lightly, like without her seeing me, I'm trying to tap his back to pass him a penny before he gets to her because he's sitting in front of me. And it's like I know that he can feel me. And I feel like in my dream, he is too afraid to turn around and take it from me, or too afraid to like make any kind of a gesture behind his body to take it from me. And right as he approaches her, everything just stops, and then I'm in another location. Keep going.
He's not taking the penny from you. You're trying to pass it.
No.
You're patting him. You know that he knows that you want to give it to him to help him because you don't want his head chopped off. He won't take the penny. He's
too afraid.
Yeah, he won't take the penny because he's afraid.
That's what I feel like, because I feel like he knows that I'm tapping on him, but he's just too afraid to turn around and take it from me.
Turn around and take your penny. Wow. Okay, and what happens when he gets to the witch?
Right as he gets to the witch, nothing happens. It's like a snap happens, and then I go to another part of the dream.
Okay, now I'm hoping that the other part of the dream, now it is a much brighter dream. But if it's not, it should be much brighter and much more cheerful, I hope.
Okay, so now we fast forward like 40 years to the age I am now.
There we go. Okay, there's always a first way of looking at things, which is remember I just said, which is ironic. I was saying there's two ways of looking at things. You know, when we look at things the first time, it's usually the worst. You know, we think the worst, but really the truth usually comes afterwards. So go on, tell me the dream.
So I'm driving on this road. We have a a small Nazarene university.
Is the wind in your
town.
hair? Is the wind in your hair?
It is. My head is actually outside.
I know, Sarah. I know. That's why. This is why I said this is once you said the word penny, I knew I was on the right. So of course you're driving down the road. You should be like one. You know, like
I'm the
passenger. You're not driving. Exactly. Who's driving?
I'm the passenger, and I don't know, but it's. I mean, I know that it's somebody that I know, but I don't know who it was.
Are you doing that little
behind me?
Hang on one second. Hang on, because now I want to start to guess things.
Okay.
Are you kind of, so definitely the wind's in your hair, right? Which is very symbolic.
And I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't typically wear my hair down. It's usually back in a ponytail or in braids, but which is weird, in this dream, my hair was loose and it was just flying all over.
Flying around. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Were you doing that little thing with your hands out the window? You know, it's like, you know, you kind of like do that little thing like where you're like almost as if you're listening to music and you're kind of feeling the wind between your hands and stuff. Or were you twirling?
Oh, like driving the airplane through the sky with your hand.
Yeah. Were you doing that?
Yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, I was doing that temporarily, like just for
strange,
the very
right?
first
Strange.
part.
Like, how would I know that? Right? How would I know there was wind? How would I know that the second dream was bright? It's weird. This is why I said to Adam, this is going to be a cool show. It's a fun show. All right. That's very significant. I think this is very cool. Okay, go on.
Okay, so we're driving, and there's this little winding road that goes basically through the campus of a small Nazarene university.
Oh, there we go. School. There we go. There's the school. All right.
And there's a passenger behind me, and it's the POTUS.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Passenger.
The current POTUS.
Okay. Passenger behind you. This is significant, meaning in the car with you, not behind you. Am I correct? Yeah. See,
in the vehicle with me.
That's the hiccup that you're going to deal with today. Okay. That's the hiccup you're going to deal with today. That's interesting. That's very interesting, but it goes along with everything else. So you had the witch and the hatchet. So that makes sense. Okay. So, we're biding our time. In passing, we'll get now. Go on.
So I'm looking out the window, and I'm got my hand out the window, and then we're driving by the university's like their rugby field or their soccer field.
Mm-hmm.
Right as we're driving by that, and there's a bunch of girls out there playing or practicing. And there's a lot of trees on this campus, but I see through the trees up in the sky little, almost like translucent little
jellyfish,
pearlish looking triangles.
Oh, triangles. Okay. All right. That's cool.
And it's like several triangles making up a triangle shape. And then I keep looking, and it's like we're driving in slow motion, and nobody else is noticing what I'm seeing. I'm the only one seeing it, and I don't have any inkling to tell anybody else what I'm seeing.
What's going on with Biden in the background?
He's like it's like he's along for the ride. He's not significant. He's just kind of sitting back there like doop-de-doo, like not.
Interesting.
I'm not even sure why he's there.
Well, I am. So, okay. So
I don't feel any significance with him.
So you're driving on a winding road. It would have been a straight road if POTUS wasn't in the back street. I promise you. The Nazarene school is huge. Nazarene is one that is separated from the ways of the world and worrying about worldly things and worldly people. That's what the Nazarene school is all about. Jesus was a Nazarene. The oath of the Nazarene is to never cut, they don't cut their hair. They let it flow. So you got this call on your life. And there's the problem is your feelings. Okay, so you're on this wheel like a hamster that you haven't gotten the breakthrough you're looking for yet. You feel like you're being weighed down, and you're on this. I mean, the penny is very significant. I'm going to get to the end of your dream, and then I'm going to tell you what the penny means. And
Okay.
the trees and the triangles, I don't understand quite yet, but so far, so good. So the rugby field, girls are practicing. You look at the trees, and then you see these triangles that are forming a triangle. They're translucent. Go on.
And then as we come out of the bend and the trees are leaving because they're behind us, and the sky is beautiful. It's
Okay.
beautiful blue. But
Has Biden disappeared yet?
he doesn't feel significant, so I don't even know at this point if he's still there.
Do you remember
I don't know.
seeing
Like,
him? Do you remember seeing him?
I turned around and saw that he was there, like in the very beginning portion of this
but now,
part of the dream.
and when you saw him the first time, you paid attention to it. When you passed the rugby field and you passed the trees, it's no longer significant to you, as in he doesn't even matter anymore. Am I correct?
Yeah, he didn't really matter at all. I just knew that he was behind
that's
me.
interesting. Can you say that again?
It didn't really matter to me that he was there. I just knew that he was
matter?
behind me.
Who didn't matter to you?
Biden.
Didn't matter anymore, did it?
No.
Are you catching that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Now, when you got past the last bend, road not so windy anymore?
The road straightens out.
Oh,
The
hang on a
sky is
second.
blue.
Hang on a second. Didn't I say earlier the road was windy because Biden was in the car? And he was
Yeah.
holding you back from that straight road. But once no longer significant to you, once no longer holding you back, the road straightens out. Now I can't wait to hear the rest of this because I think this is going to be really cool. Go on.
Okay, so we break away from the campus and we come out and it's like I know that there's other stuff there, but all I can look at is the sky, and it's this really pretty blue. And as I'm sitting there looking at it, I start to notice that there are more and more of these white triangles. They're almost like pearlescent, like you can almost see through them. But they're in triangle shapes. They're little triangles in a bunch of triangle shapes. And then as I'm looking, they are, as far as I can see, all these groupings of triangles up in the sky. And then I stick my head and I kind of turn my head up and I can see a huge triangle, like almost like a pyramid shape.
Okay.
Way up above. And then there's just all these, they're like little babies that's what it feels like. They're like the little babies of this big, huge triangle. But they didn't feel like UFOs. They felt like,
well, I don't think it's the eye of providence or I don't think it's anything like that. But nothing hit me right off the bat over the triangle. So I wanted to share this with people too. They got dream dictionaries. You can go online and you can look it up. There's a great website that I use called Dream Moods. And I haven't used it in years, but I felt like, hey, if something popped up, maybe I could tell people because, you can't contact me. And many times I've used this. I always say to people, when you have a dream, pray about it. You'll figure it out. Someone will tell you about it. Someone will explain it to you. Something will happen. It'll make sense. Dream Mood says if you see a triangle in your dream, it has to do with your aspirations, your potential, and truth. I was thinking triangle as in, well, you could always say, and I'm not like a Trinitarian or anything else. I'm not trying to push any doctrine here, but mind, body, spirit, or Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Any way you're looking at it, that's what a triangle is. There's three, right? So that all of them coming together. So you have all of this coming together and it's forming one great thing. which has a lot to do with you. Now,
But
alternatively,
wait, they weren't forming. It was like there was a big one, and then as far as I could see all these formations of little ones.
yeah, okay. So there was one big, so that's good. So there was one big one, and there are a lot of little ones. Okay. As far as the eye could see.
Yeah, just floating up in the sky.
Floating in the sky. That's cool. But ugly or scary, right? It wasn't red.
No, they were beautiful.
Okay, so that's a good thing. This is a good dream. Okay, this is and where this is going to help you. Let me look up the name Jaren really quick. Because I think Jaren is significant. I think just the name, the fact that you were babysat by his mom, is significant as well. Let me just look that up. Oh my goodness, it's a cry of rejoicing. It was about the name. It was about the name. So right now, okay, so what this would tell me is, and you got to tell me, I mean, you know, if I'm completely way off, you know, I'm just taking my best stab at these things, right? But I have a feeling that maybe right now, you know, you're worried that your dreams may not come true, that you won't be happy, that, you know, the future is not bright. And I think your focal point is, you know, the person who is that you bring in the car with you. Your car in a dream is your ministry. It's your waking life. You're walking around, your expression in the world. It's how you get from one place to another. It's your journey. You're bringing Biden on your journey. And when you're doing that, the road's going to be windy. The fact that you were driving towards a school, very significant, because you're going to learn to let all that stuff go. You're going to learn to let all that stuff go. Okay. Meaning that you're going to focus on the trees ahead. Now, remember earlier in the dream, before I knew about any of the trees, I made a very strange thing. I wanted to point out, I asked everybody in the chat, what is a hatchet chop down? Right? I said trees.
Yep.
Okay. The trees are very significant.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever hear that expression? You know, I don't know how it goes. Maybe somebody in the chat could say it. I think it's like, don't miss the forest through the trees, or don't miss the trees through the forest, or something like that.
Don't miss the forest for the trees.
Don't miss the forest for the trees. Okay. So yeah. And I guess that has to do with bigger pictures in your life. And Jaren means to cry out in rejoicing in song, but Jaren is frail. Jaren is pale. Jaren doesn't have a penny. Okay. So right now,
and you know, that's very reflective of my childhood at that point. I had a very sick mother, mentally ill mother at that point in my life that I had no relationship with. I didn't really know her. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. And may I ask if that makes sense to you, possibly in the here and now as well? Or do you feel a little bit like things are going a little slower, and, you know, you feel like, you know, how are you going to get off this crazy, slow, automated, AI-driven merry-go-round? You know, do you feel like your cry? Like,
definitely.
Are you rejoicing, or is it frail right now? Are you crying out?
It's a daily. I have to daily. I have to remind myself daily I have to remember my gratitude and.
Well, then boom, but you remember your gratitude, right? See, that's what I want to point out. And see, this is an interesting thing, because I'm hoping that everybody that calls in can be honest with me, because, you know, when I'm saying you're rejoicing, I was crying the other night, you know, like literally crying. I am like everybody else. God never promised that things were going to always be peachy, right? We get strong through what we endure. And that word torment in scripture, the smoke of their torment, you know, rises up. And what is that smoke? It's the prayers of the saints. People look at it as like you're being tortured endlessly. That's in Revelation. This is a revelation for you, by the way. The prayers rise up as a good savor. So when you're praying out and crying out to God, when you're remembering Jaron in your dream, you're remembering you need to be grateful too, but you're not crying out in strength. You're crying out in weakness right now. But soon you're going to be going with the flow, using a little airplane with your little hand, letting your hair flow out. But the problem is, road's still going to be windy. As you're going to the Nazarene school where you get rid of the ways of the world. That's it. You get rid of the ways of the world. Separating that's what a Nazarene, insightful. What is that?
That's very insightful. I mean, I feel like I've been on that path of like feeling lost and
merry-go-round,
and
slow.
I can see what I want, but I'm having a hard time getting there sometimes.
Yeah, because the road is windy. And who's in the car with you? Do you find yourself many times?
Yeah.
Do you find yourself many times saying, I'm so unhappy because of this. I'm so happy
Maybe it's
because of
I
what
don't know. Maybe it's because I don't know who's driving my vehicle.
Well, hello. Thank you for doing my job for me because I was going to get there. You blew it. You blew it. No, that was very insightful.
You inspired that thought.
Well, no, listen, I don't know anything that I'm doing here. Honestly, I just come on here and I prayed. I even blew the shofar that my buddy sent me. Because I really want people to see that there is hope, and that's why I wanted recent dreams, because this dream isn't just for you. There are a lot of people right now that are on that merry-go-round, right? There are a lot of people that feel like, that penny, right? Here's the thing though, the cry and rejoice don't got the penny, and you're worried about that, right? Where's my joy gone? How many people today feel like, where's my joy gone for a penny, right? Now watch this. This is going to blow your mind. Oh my goodness, what a great call this was. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Sarah. You're something else. You were named appropriately. Matthew 20, for the kingdom of heaven is like a man that's a householder went out into the field in the morning for the laborers. That's you, Sarah. That's me. That's Adam. That's Dax. That's everybody. That's the Foogle fam. Right, it's the Israelite clan. I don't really have a name for him, but some people saw him. That's all of us. And when he agreed with the laborers, how much was the pay? A penny a day. He agreed with the laborers for a penny a day. Now, this is the good news for you. I'm getting the chills telling you, because you were worried about that, not having the penny, right? So he goes out, and it's the third hour. He saw people sitting around. He says, go into the vineyard. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Get Biden out of the car. And they went their way again, 6th and the 9th hour. He did it again. He's like, what are you doing? What are you standing by? Why are you on the freaking merry-go-round, Sarah? In your comfy clothes? In your comfy clothes? He says, why do you stand idle? Why do you think your dreams aren't coming true? Where's your rejoicing gone? They say unto him, because no man hired us. I don't know who the driver is. He says to him, go into the vineyard, and whatever is right, you'll receive. Go out, Sarah, do what you got to do. There's more to this story. There's more to you. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard came to, and guess what he does? At the very last second, he gives a penny, and everybody's like, what? I've been on YouTube since 2008. This guy just got on. He just said his first prayer. You're letting him in. People had a problem with that. Our joy is going to come back, but it might not be until the very end. And we might think that there's no penny for us, but I'm telling you there is, and no witch is going to cut down the tree of life that's planted in our heart. No witch is going to cut that. That's witchcraft, by the way, in scripture is just rebellion. It's rebellion, and cutting off the head, just symbolic of, you're thinking the ways that David cut off Goliath's head. So Goliath is representative. He had 6 fingers and 6 toes. Isn't this cool, sir? Aren't you glad you wrote some of this down? 6. And you said, I'm about 6 years old. 6, number of man. number of carnal, ignorant man, us. On the second part of the dream, though, not so dark anymore. All right. Now it's bright. It's nice. Now you're driving. Now you're in your journey. That's from here on. This is the second part of your dream starting tonight. Right? You're going to let your hair down. Right? You probably are going to let your hair down tomorrow anyway, even though you wear it up. You're probably just going to do it because you know what? I'm going to let my hair down. Sometimes we do things physically so they can minister to us spiritually. And you're going to get on a winding road. It's not going to be perfect. And it's not going to be overnight that you're going to stop blaming the beast system for all your problems. Because guess what? God's in charge of everything. Everything. And in the end, you're going to see your hopes and dreams come true. I think you got one big thing. That's that big one. I think you got one big thing and a lot of other little ones. But I think it's all going to be glorious. I don't know what it is that you do or what you think, or what, but something, I think something big and wonderful, but you got to get past, what is that expression again? Trees in the forest. How's it go?
Merry-go-round.
Well, you got, you're already,
can't see the forest for the trees.
Yeah. Once you get past that part, you already got past the merry-go-round. You're off. Okay. God sent you this dream, in my opinion, right? I believe this. Look at all the symbolism, right? So this was the download. For you to say, Sarah, it's okay. Hang in there. You can't see that I'm driving, but just relax. Do the airplane with your hands. We're going to get there. So that's the interpretation of your dream.
Thank you. And Jacob, I just want to tell you, I ordered your book, The Calling.
Oh, wow.
And
cool.
My mom is a widow since 2018. We lost my dad very suddenly, and I've been taking it over there and reading it to her. And the tears in her eyes, it's just been a beautiful experience to be able to read to my mom and to read that book to her. It's been a joy. So I just wanted to thank you for writing it. It's a gem. It's a very, I can't say enough about that book.
There's a scene, my nanny in my real life, my grandmother nanny, she raised me because my mom was very young when she had me. She got pregnant when she was 18 and my dad took off and, so we ended up moving back in with my nanny, my pop. And, he was a butcher and then he became a hairdresser, which I think is irony. And he just got back from the war. So he was in Korea. So they had this nice housing and it just worked out, But when she was passing away, I wrote the scene in a very, very powerful scene that deals with loss, actually in the hospital room where she was. Oh, wow. And I had a dream of my nanny doing what you did. I had a dream about a week after. And I forgot that I had the dream until just now. Isn't that crazy? You brought up the book. You see, God's like, I'm not going to let you go. You got to tell her this part too. And it was a hard part of my life because, because I wrote that book during a very dark period of my I lost everything. And, and I was, it was a single dad with these two kids and I was very sick. In and out of the hospital, almost died. And then my nanny passed and I had this dream of her and I was in the back seat. And she was in the passenger seat like you. I didn't know who was driving either, but guess what she was doing with her hair? Guess what she was doing with her hand? Same thing. It's amazing. I forgot that and I didn't tell you. And now crazier than that, she turns around and this is for you too, because I can't stop getting the chills. Oh God, I'm so glad we did this show. It was very nice. She turned around to me and she said, surely goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. Those were my nanny's words to me after she passed away. She was the closest. She's the only person who never judged me. She was the only person that thought that I had something going on. That's why in the novel, she, there's a story about her wanting to marry was supposed to be a nun, but she ended up marrying a gardener. Which is symbolic of us leaving the religious system. So surely goodness and mercy is going to follow you, Sarah.
I don't want to interrupt, Jacob, but we are at about 40 minutes on this call. So
yeah, this was good. This was good for everybody. Let's move on.
We have 75
callers.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Jacob.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Jacob, I am
Thanks, Mark.
going to take a pause to say hello. And Sarah, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody watching. Jacob, just 1 second. I'm going to make sure to get a couple of these people. They have some comments here. So thank you again, Dorothy Tucker. Thank you for Love of Country 1. Thank you, Mary Heltke. Joanne Morency, thank you so much. Jaleesa H., thank you guys. Understandably, again, just wanted to make it clear because we're halfway through. We did gain some new people here. It is a dream show. Jacob Israel is going to be interpreting dreams. I will see the feedback is, so most people are saying, can we hear the whole dream first, then the interpretation? I do want to let you know that part of this is that he can see ahead from his experience doing this. So that is part of it. But again, I get what you guys are saying. But again, I'm thinking that if we can, just because there's so many people calling, if we could have some sort of blitz and see how many we could actually get in, just because there's so many. Global Witness, Derek, love you both, brothers. Thank you, Global Witness. I appreciate that. Casey Wilson, Jacob, why do I not have dreams for months at a time? Joanne Morency, More and C. Everyone butchers it and never gets it right. Joanne More and C. Well, I won't butcher it anymore. Christy Roselle, thank you so much. And appreciate everybody that is with us right now and everybody that just joined. I do want to remind everybody real quick, if you can, make sure to go over and check out Energy. This whole show is running on Energy. Again, we are a controversial show, so again, we are not treated like others. If I was reviewing cameras, it would be a little bit different. But again, you can support us through affiliates. That means that we represent a product. Essentially, I believe that people with this will actually save lives at one point. If you are looking into getting a generator, make sure to go over and check out marfooglenews.com/energy. It's a modular solar generator that can essentially power it for as long as you want. Again, you can look at how much it is extendable. It is you can add 96 batteries to this. It is also silent. There is little to no maintenance because it is solar. It has no motors and engines to fix, and it doesn't take $5 a gallon gas. That's marfooglenews.com/energy. Make sure to use the code Marfoogle to get upwards of $170 off. Okay, Jacob, we have so many callers. So
right on.
We've actually never had this many this volume. So I know I'm going to let you.
I'm going to go quick.
I'm going to let you do your thing. But I just wanted to go off of.
I think Sarah. First of all, I can't believe that was 40 minutes. I think that was something that was important for everybody to hear, and I have a feeling that these are going to be a little quicker.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get Cody on the phone. Cody, let's get Cody, and Cody is a first-time caller as well. And it looks like
Cody is live, Adam.
Cody is live.
Hello.
Hey, Cody, how are you?
Hello. Doing well, thanks.
Oh, right on. Well, welcome to the Dream Show. When was your dream?
Yeah, nice to be here. Mine was yesterday morning.
Oh, sweet. I like those morning dreams. Hang on a second. Before we begin, it was only one dream? It wasn't two?
Mine?
Yes.
There's two. My wife had one exactly, and we're one flesh. We're Christians.
No. This has to be
very quick.
I'm saying you personally only had one dream, not two?
I'm telling one. I had multiple that day. I have multiple every night.
Well, so in the morning, the dream that you want to tell me about, you woke up from it and you didn't have that dream, and then the dream switched to another dream. It was just one dream. This is important.
I woke up. Yep, this is just one.
Okay, and that's I figured it was just one. You told me it was yesterday morning. That's why I just wanted to point this out. This just kind of lends to, I guess, credibility to patterns that God uses. So, okay, go on. Tell me.
Okay, so I was in a jail, but it seemed very laid back. I had a cell phone. I was kind of trying to hide it, but they were pretty laid back guards. And so the guards took all of us as prisoners to a garage to where we were all getting in different vehicles. And a bear came in this garage and it started like trying to attack everybody. So I jumped in a car with a black man that I don't know, a black man with braids. I don't know who he is. He was driving, and we took off before the bear could get towards us. So it was nighttime, and we went to a hotel, and this place seemed to be like my hometown.
Was it? It was a dirty hotel. It was a dirty hotel.
No, it was just not a super fancy one, but it was just a regular.
Was it?
Regular
I mean,
room,
did it look broken down? Was it? I mean, by dirty, was it like?
Remember.
Was it? It wasn't bright and cheery.
It was dark when I got in, and then
okay,
the
that's
lights
what I'm
never
getting.
came on.
So it was dreary. It was like a dreary hotel. It wasn't anything that you know.
Yeah. It was dark. Yeah.
Dreary. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I figured it was. Okay, go on.
Okay. So we got in our room, and I noticed the lights were off, and we never turned them on. But I noticed
never turned them on. I want to put a pin in that. The lights were off.
Yeah.
And you never turned them on.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
Okay. And I noticed there were screens that had, they were for security cameras that happened to be around the corner on a street. And so we could see the street in front of the Knoxville, where I'm from, Recreation Center.
Well, how is that
so it
significant?
Seemed like it was my
how is the Knoxville Recreation Center? How is that connected to you?
Yeah, that's where my hometown is, and I don't live near there now.
So this
so
is
I'm assuming the hometown connection is
first part of the dream. You weren't in your hometown, or you were? You were in a jail.
I was in the jail,
laid back.
Yeah.
Cell phone. You were hiding. They brought you to it.
I believe it was.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I believe it was my hometown, but the jail looked different and the streets were kind of different, but it was my hometown at the same time. But everything looked different.
And the guards take you to this garage. Were there pipes that were dripping water in this garage? Was it an underground garage? I think that's a better question.
Yeah, there was actually levels to the jail. I believe it was an underground garage. Yes.
Okay, so yeah. That's once again, when I first heard the words garage, I thought of like an auto mechanic's garage. But then when you continued to talk and you told me about the hotel, I said, oh, he's in an underground, probably leaky pipe, probably dark looking garage. And that's when the bear attacked.
Yes, sir.
What, go on.
Okay. So where was I? I got it all written down.
The bear attacked you. You're driving with a guy that you don't know. You get to the hotel. You're in it's a dreary hotel. You never turned on the lights, but you some reason have security screens in front of you, and you can see outside in front of the rec center.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. So there was a black SUV parked on the street in front of the rec center. And again, we're watching this on these camera screens. And behind the SUV pulled up about 4 or 5 police cars. And very quickly, everybody got out and they started banging at each other. And as they were going at each other, banging, a small tornado had came down.
That's
where they all were.
Right on top of where they all were. You're watching it. The tornado didn't hurt you though, right?
No, it didn't, but it started coming towards us.
Towards you. And it was one big one, or was it followed by 2 smaller ones?
No, it was just one fairly small one.
Okay, fairly small. That's significant. Okay, fairly small. Now, this tornado was black, or was it white?
It seemed to be somewhere in between, it
was gray,
I guess you'd say. Yeah.
Okay, fairly small. gray tornado that came and I guess broke up the scene of people shooting each other?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens next?
Okay, so the tornado starts coming towards the hotel we're at, and because it's my hometown, I'm just now remembering this. The guy I was with wasn't from where I was from, so I was telling him, "Let's go get in the bathroom. The tornado's on its way any second," because it was right around the corner, is where these cameras were pointing. Yeah. So we began to go to the bathroom, and I don't see him anymore. And I see the door move. Move to the bathroom, and I go in, and I thought he beat me in there, but he's gone. It's not him.
I would love for you. I would love for you to tell me. I would love for you to tell me that somehow there was another door in that bathroom that led outside. I would like to hear that, but I'm not guessing because. Okay, go on. All right. So he left you. You're in the bathroom.
No. Yeah. So I was facing towards. I got towards like the back of the bathroom. The lights are again off, and he wasn't in there. But behind me was another man and a different man. And it ended up being somebody, a friend of mine that just passed away 3 weeks ago.
Interesting. What's his name?
His name is Landon.
Landon. And what is significant about Landon? How did he pass?
Motorcycle accident.
Oh, I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What is he known for? Like, what is Landon known for? Like, when you think of Landon, what's he like? Is he a wild man? Is he a nice man? Is he a godly man? Is he a crazy man?
Wild and nice at the same time. Big guy.
Wild how? Was he a very politically motivated person?
No,
okay.
Not that I know of.
Okay, wild man, like party guy or no?
Yeah.
So like drugs and alcohol type of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Drugs and alcohol into his adult life.
Yes, sir.
Drugs and alcohol leading to his death.
That I'm sure of.
Okay, because that would be very significant. Okay, but this Landon is very significant for you too. All right, go on.
Yeah, I'm assuming there was at least marijuana involved with his death.
What is that?
An all-time thing. So
what did you say?
I'm assuming there was at least marijuana involved with his death because he was always smoking.
Well, I mean, there are people that live on it. It's like a medication to them. So it's like, and I think and I'm not telling anybody they should go get stoned, but I know that there are studies that say that they've done studies that people that use it on a regular basis for whatever, that they're pretty good drivers. So I mean, they've kind of like debunked the theory that it's very dangerous, but it is for young kids and all sorts of things. I didn't even want to go there, but this is a dream we're talking about. So, but my point is so he was always kind of doing the drugs and the alcohol, and that's significant. That's why I asked if he was a wild man. I was figuring because if there was a door that opened out into a beautiful open field, he probably would have been like a godly man, like somebody that was very, not godly like a religious person, but somebody that was more of a encourager and stable in their life, So go on, tell me the rest.
Definitely wasn't.
Tell me the rest.
Definitely wasn't no door like that. So I'm facing the toilet at this time, and he's behind me, and I feel he bangs. He has bang and hits me in the lower left back when I'm not facing him.
So he shoots you,
and yes, I felt it. It's like I really could feel it.
Yeah.
So I begin to go down, and I turn around as I'm going down, and I'm in between the toilet and the wall.
This is significant.
In this bathroom.
This is very significant because this is very significant about where you are mentally right now. I think you're between the toilet and a wall.
Yeah.
All right. Go on.
Okay, so my right arm fell into the bowl of the toilet, and as I'm sitting there with my head slouched, I'm slouched down, and my right arm is in the bowl of the toilet. He yells, "Pee!" and he says it twice.
He says pee.
Yeah, he yells, "Pee, pee," in like a demonic voice. It didn't sound like his voice.
Your hand, did you put your hand in the toilet, or did it accidentally? Like, I think you put your hand in the toilet. Am I correct?
Well, it was my elbow, and it fell. As I fell down, it landed. That's how I landed.
Was the toilet dirty or was it clean?
I believe it was clean.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say, please tell me it's clean. Please tell me it's clean. Please. Remember, I told you water is significant. Water is, a toilet is a well, right? If there's a drought in the land, and there's a toilet and it has water in it and you're thirsty, you're going to drink that water. And you said it was your right arm. When the angels of God show up to the kingdom, the angels on the right side, on the left side is always Satan. So logic is the left side, and kind of inspiration and creativity and spirituality is the right side. You said it was your right arm, but your right elbow, which is pretty significant too. And Landon, the party guy, screams out pee twice. And when he was screaming out pee, was he saying that like, get your elbow out of the water? There's pee in there. Like, did you feel like, oh, I got to get my arm out of the water?
No, like I felt it as he was telling me like to pee. I don't know. Didn't make sense.
You felt like he was telling you to pee. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, yelling at me to pee.
You know what they call when you can't what is it called? Evacuate? Is it evacuate? Is that the word I'm looking for? When you pee, there's a really cool word for it. I'm gonna look it up because spiritually it's important. P. And he says it twice. When when Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac, the angel of God had to say it twice because he didn't listen. When P is getting rid of the impurities that are within you, right? And water is used to get rid of those impurities. So spiritually, it's a wonderful message. And then what happened? Is that the end of the dream?
No. So I fell with my elbow in the toilet. So, and then I knew I was going to live. I could feel myself, like I wasn't really in too much pain. I could feel I was going to live, but I didn't want him to know that. Right. So I started faking like I was dying.
You knew you were going to live, but you faked you were going to die. Okay. All right. Faked your death.
Yeah. So he wouldn't hit me. Yeah, so he wouldn't hit me with another round.
Just a heads up, Jacob. I just wanted to give you a note on time. I believe we're around 20.
Yeah, I want to just hear the end of this, and then
no problem.
I'm pretty sure I have an idea what this is. So he hit me, Landon.
Yeah, we're right at
you faked your death.
Right at the end. So
go on.
Yeah, I faked it, and let me see where I was real quick. Okay, I faked it, and so I didn't want him to hit me again. And as I was pretending like I was dying, he plopped down on his butt in between the door frame of the hall, leaning up against his back up against the door frame of that bathroom door, and he began to light a bowl, smoking. And then I woke up.
Now, if his back's against the door, it's going to be hard for you to get out of that bathroom, right?
Like he's facing me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying he's leaning up against it. It would be hard for you. You know you're going to live. You're pretending you're dying, but he's like still not going to let you out. Is that basically what you're saying? Yep. Okay. All right. So here's the thing.
The door was open.
Here's the thing. And this is a touchy thing. Being in a laid back jail is your life. Okay. That's and the fact that you're hiding your cell phone. A cell phone is significant of reaching something higher, satellites in the heavens, right? Or whatever. So it's a symbolic of communication, but you had to hide it. You hid it. Going to that garage in the basement is, you're trying to journey out of this place. But you know, there's a bear that comes and attacks you. And I've talked about bears. Alicia called bears down on, I think it was 42 children because they were calling them a baldy. Here we are, hair again, right? So this has to do with your, now I don't know how old you are. I'm hoping that you're either like 30 or 33 because this would be really cool. But just tell me how old you are.
I'm 34.
Oh, there you go. You see, that's right on target. You know, Jesus resurrected at 33. So 33, right. 34, right? So 3.5, years. That's when he was put to death. That's this is your moment. This is exactly what it is. The guy who's going to bring you to the Drury Hotel, I don't know who that is, but I do know that the two of you were busy looking at security cameras all the time. So I'm thinking you're looking a little bit too much at the outside world in fear, and you're seeing these black SUVs and these police cars. And once again, this is a highly politically charged environment, and there's a lot of crazy, theories and things that are spinning out there. And I believe that you're a little beat down, and I believe that you're a little too focused on that stuff, which maybe you aren't, but I believe you are, or something to that extent. A hotel is a temporary residence. So I want to let you know, this is temporary. You're on the run right now. Spiritually speaking, you're on the run. You're not in jail anymore, but you're between a toilet and a wall. And your buddy Landon, okay, which I'm going to look his name up now because that would be cool too. Because people they're given names for a reason, and who knows what could come out of that. It means, there you go, ridge. You don't like it with a ridge is it's like walking on a razor's blade. It's a long hill or ridge. It's a cool name. He's a partier. So, I mean, I don't know, what's going on in your life, but I would say it would be a good thing to, whether you do or not, or whether you do socially or you barely do it all. I would say focus more. What is that?
None. I don't drink or smoke or nothing.
Okay. That's really good. So I would say that regardless of what you're doing, whether you're doing it a lot, whether you're doing a little, whether you're saying you're doing it, not at all, there's a correlation between being, we'll say, like high all the time, drunk all the time, to being spiritually ignorant all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's when you're intoxicated, you can't think straight. Okay. So for whatever reason, the person that's in that toilet with you, in that bathroom with you, when the tornado came, it's not a big tornado. So there's going to be a shakeup in your life. So a little small one, not a big one, right? Thank God. I used to have terrible dreams of tornadoes, terrible, huge ones. There's going to be a shakeup. It's going to come at a time where you're probably feeling like you've got your back against a wall and you're in between a toilet, right? You got to remember that your past, like Landon, the ridge that you're on, you can't let it hold you back. Whatever it is, whatever people think you are or used to be, you can't let it hold you back. And I think that this is a pretty cool thing. There's a scene in my novel about where Thomas meets John, and he's in a leaky garage underground. And it was the moment when John, much like you, resurrected again, if you will. I think that spiritually speaking, I think, this bodes well, but right now, maybe you just don't feel that way. I mean, maybe because, it is kind of a dark dream. I mean, are you concerned with things in the world? Because that's what it kind of seems to me. And I got to tell you, don't get drunk on it. Don't be hanging out looking at the screens too much. Really focus on the good things. Focus on, and you're not going to die. That's the big message. You're not going to die. Does that help you?
Amen.
I hope that helps you a little bit.
Yes. Amen. Hallelujah.
All right, Len. It was nice meeting you, man. Thank you for your dream. Pray about it too, because you never know.
Landon, thank you so much for calling in.
That's Cody.
Cody, I'm sorry.
Cody, why did I say Landon? Sorry, Cody. Yeah.
We
Landon
both
was the
said
other name.
Landon.
Thank you, Cody. Sorry, brother.
That's funny.
God
Well,
bless.
I kept hearing Landon, and Landon was sticking with
I
me.
know.
So, all right. So that was 2 callers. I think that the one thing, and by the way, this is an experiment show, and also this is the first time ever. I want to let people know we, like I said in chat, I will only be looking at polite, constructive criticism. We want to tweak this show, and I think that if we got the timing down, I think that we could have something really, really special. So, sorry about that, guys. My mic just went off. But I think that if we can curtail the time and get this really down, I think that we could have something very special. I think what is even more special is that our first 2 callers actually did get a full-on dream interpretation. I think that we would need to balance and have to have a balance of time and getting the message across in that dream. Jacob, great so far. The only thing I have to say though is we have dozens of callers on hold, and we have had
They want to hear everything. Yeah,
we've
I
had
got you.
400
you know what?
callers.
They can just hit me with it, and I'll just.
Okay.
I won't even take notes. Just tell me from the beginning to the end. If I ask some questions.
Well, we
I
don't
will.
know. I don't know how, the thing is Jacob, you and I can look at the feedback and tweak it however. Maybe people want the in-depth. I don't know. I'm trying to think of as far as how many callers, the sheer amount of callers. I mean, I should have expected this because we have, talked about possibly doing it for 3 years. But so we'll get right back into it. I'll
Get
stop
into it. Let's
I'll
do
stop
it.
talking.
Everybody, just take a break and just listen, because you may hear something.
Yes.
We're gonna do better. We're gonna do quicker. That last one was quicker. It was good stuff for their family.
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So, by the way, I just wanted to say thank you again, Global Witness Derek. I hope you're still here. I want to do this with multiple creators. I want to bring more diversity to the channel. I also want, I want to have I want to bring a lot of value to you guys as far as we're going to cover all sorts of different topics. Christina Faith, thank you, says, check out Scaled to Thee for beautiful live piano. I will. I listen to classical music when I am in the car because that's the only station we have now in Seattle. Eliza Nunez, thank you so much for the super sticker for Love of Country. More dream shows seems like a lot of interpretation. Let's see here. More dream shows, let's see here. Seems like a lot of interest. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, no, that's what I said. The feedback on this, we'll try to tweak it and get down and figure out a system to how to do it. This is the first ever. So we have to, this is kind of like, this is unknown playing field here. Kendra Perkins, massive animal deaths, year of records. Okay, type this in, endtimesprophecy.org/then type animal deaths, bird, fish, and times. Make sure to put a dash in between each word. Kendra Perkins, that's actually what I was talking about the other day, and that's the site I was talking about that tracks that. So awesome. All right. By the way, make sure to go check out marfuglenews.com/offgrid. We are going to get back to our callers, and we're going to try to do this blitz, Craig, here. We have Jesse, first-time caller. Jesse, you are live with Jacob Israel.
Hit me, Jesse. Hit me.
Hey, how's it going, y'all? All right, I got 2 quick short ones here.
Hit me.
They were a week ago, but in the same week, short and vivid. The first one is I was being guided by like 2 people on either side of me into a teleportation machine, basically. And then once I got into it, I started feeling, I started actually feeling like heat and pressure. And then it burst a white light. And then all of a sudden I was in a different area. It was like a smaller room and I was all disoriented, but where I got teleported from was like, it felt like it was like a big open building. So to speak. And then real quick, the second one, it was basically a day later, I was getting launched into space, but it was like, I didn't want to be there. It was like as if I was a prisoner and I was like locked into the seat, but I didn't want to be there. I didn't have my helmet on. And also it was like a big ship. It wasn't like something small, like Current, like SpaceX or whatever. it was like a small group of people were in this like area, and I wasn't the only one that was locked up. And then you know how like when you teleport to a different part of your dream, or like you black out and you just wake up and you're in a different part of the dream doing something. That part of the dream, I like when we were launching, I kind of just blacked out, and then all of a sudden I appeared like I was in like a single man escape pod, like kind of just floating in space. And those were the two recent ones I had last week.
Wow. Are you married?
No, sir.
I didn't think so, because it's a single man, right?
Yeah.
Do you have two people that are close to you, like, or that maybe
I have
were a roommates or something?
Well, I mean, I have a group of friends that I've been friends with since 7th grade. We still hang out today.
Two people in particular?
No, I mean, my group of friends is like a group of 5 people
Okay, so
that I've been
group of
friends with 7th
So
grade.
were these two people, you couldn't make out who they were? Were they like blurry, or just you knew they were there?
The ones guiding me, they weren't my friends. They weren't. Yeah,
Not
I didn't
your,
know
okay,
anybody.
there you go. That's good. Okay, so not your friends.
Yeah.
Did you feel threatened by them? Threatened or no?
Well, not necessarily, because I was like already shackled up and locked down.
So you were prisoner.
But I
There's
didn't
a
want
lot
to.
of prisoner dreams.
Yeah, it was weird. And then like what things I always notice is like in the dreams, I'm always me. I'm never another person.
Well,
never,
yeah,
like,
and as well,
whatever.
as well, everyone is. Sometimes you can be like the viewer watching yourself too. It's amazing how these whole worlds open up. The small room, you only mentioned a small room, no windows, right? No windows or doors or anything?
Well, yeah, the room I got teleported into was like a smaller room, and I do remember like being, I don't know, like 3 or 4 people in front of me that I couldn't make out because I was all like disoriented and I couldn't see. It was all blurry.
Windows? No,
was, like,
no windows? No windows, no doors?
I thought that I could recall. It did feel like
a lot of fluorescent light. Was it like fluorescent light, or was it like bluish, like sci-fi-ish lights?
When I saw the light from the teleportation, it was just like a burst of like pure white light.
No, I'm talking about, okay, no, I got that. But what about the room? What were the lights in the room? Was it like fluorescent light, or was the room very clean or dirty? What was it like? Just describe the environment.
It seemed like a super clean, futuristic room.
Okay, so it's futuristic. Like, so like
I couldn't.
Okay. And there were 3 people in front of you.
I couldn't sight back. It was my sight was blurry from being like teleported or whatever, and it was just like I just remember people being in front of me. I was all confused. It was like really clean. Right. I feel like might have been robes. I just remember like long, tall figures.
And there was no transition. Just you were in the dream. It was blurry, and then next thing you know, you're being launched into space in a big ship.
That's no, like the first teleportation thing happened on one day. Then 2 days later, I had the one being launched into space.
Oh, so this is a separate dream from a separate night?
Yeah.
This doesn't work. So just give me one dream. So what was the last dream that you had? Just tell me the one last dream that you had, so we can do this. I want to make sure we get the other callers too, because it can't be dreams, multiple dreams, like one night and then 3 nights later. Really has to be just like one night. Like you have one dream. Sometimes you'll have multiple dreams in one certain dream. What was the last dream that you had? The very last one? Was it just being launched into space? Was this a separate dream?
Yeah, the one being launched into space would have been the separate one. But yeah, it's when I was locked down in the chair. I didn't want to be there. I remember being in like a white suit with a blue stripe on it. Didn't have my helmet on. There was a bunch of other people in there as well that were locked down.
Did they have helmets on?
I was freaking out. I didn't want to be launching this. I'm pretty sure they did.
But you didn't have your helmet on. Okay. All right. You didn't have your helmet.
No, I don't remember having it on.
Do you know what the helmet is?
No, and I didn't want.
Do you know what the helmet is significant of? I mean, first of all, it's protection, right?
Yeah.
You take the helmet of salvation. That's what you're supposed to wear. that's it's very significant not having your helmet on, which doesn't mean launched into space is not the same old routine. Being a prisoner launched into space is is even like weirder. Not having your helmet on means you don't feel safe or protected. But then being the single man escape pod, I mean, you're going to be okay regardless. When I look at this, I think it has to do with spirituality, and I would say that you were launched into space, meaning that you weren't in space at the beginning of the dream. You were launched, so you were on the Earth, correct, in the beginning, like in the thing locked up.
I was on the I was
wearing
on the
a white
for
suit is good.
Was
if it was a clean white suit, it's good. That means that's the righteousness of you're a good guy, so you'd be wearing a white suit.
A white stripe.
Yeah, it just
had like a blue stripe side of it.
I mean, maybe this is just stuff where you feel kind of like you're lonely, I mean, and maybe you're worried that you're going to always be alone, just floating out there. And
that's right on the money.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, and
Yep.
that's why I was getting confused with the first one. But you got to put your helmet on. Okay, so that's the end of this. That's the end of this. You need to put your helmet on. You got to understand that you have salvation, right? So you're gonna have, if you want to be with someone, God will make a way. If you want to have, you don't want to be lonely, God will make a way. It's scary when you launch off, man. Launch off already, okay? Launch off already. See, that's why I wanted dreams that were.
Know if you can actually hear me.
I'm trying to get. I know a lot of people want to talk.
No, that's okay.
That was great, Jacob.
Can you hear me? All right. It looks like we're having technical difficulties here. I don't know if anyone can actually hear me. So just to roll with what's happening right now. Looks like it might be something locally here. I'm believing it is, as far as the internet connection. It sounds like the other TVs and things are out in the house as well, or they're glitching. So whatever ends up actually coming through here, I don't know. And we're just going to see what ends up happening here. Okay, let's see if... All right, so sorry, folks. I apologize. It is connecting. So we should... It's trying to do it automatically and get us back on. I believe you guys can hear me. So, again, apologize, and we will try to edit this out and re-upload if we have to. Let's see if... hopefully it will be a good thing. It may be a good thing because after 2 hours, it doesn't process right. So like if you go 2 hours and 10 minutes, it essentially like will, when it uploads, it will take 10 hours and then it will end up only uploading the last 2 hours, not that first 10 minutes. So I don't know, maybe if it does cut and turn into 2 streams, then it will be a good thing. I apologize to our guest. I don't have access to their name right now, and I forgot. It doesn't take me long. Let's see here. And it's trying to connect. Dax, I did. Yep. So something is wrong on my end. I'm going to try to restart and then just get this back up so we can. I believe everything will just continue. So, all right. All right, what is going on, guys? It's Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. I think we may have resolved the issue. So just to let you know, this is a part two to our dream show. Again, just to show you, with Jacob Israel. Now, I believe this is just because my computer is old and stupid, but it very well could just be my internet connection. It sounded like the TVs and stuff all stopped at the same time. They usually play like a little screensaver across the room, and they stopped as well. So I'm gonna get everything back on if I can here. And it does look like it is stupid. It is just old and stupid. So no worries. We can deal with old and stupid. Let's see here. All right. While I do this, you guys make sure to do a polka dance of some sort. The polka dance is found on DuckDuckGo. Videos for it accordingly. You can go and watch and then practice. In the meantime, in the next 3 to 4 to 11 minutes, and we will get back up and running. I'm a professional. I can deal with this. I'm a professional. I can deal with it. I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Hopefully it's not live. So I'll just be like Ben Shapiro. Can we edit that part out? It's offensive. All right. Let's start smooth. Thank you. Looks like already a few hundred already dropped back in. Just to let you know, it sounds like we had an outage of some sort, so we are going to get Jacob back on the line. And let's see. Dex, I assume you can hear me, so I'm going to be popping in. How is the polka? Is it good? Is it poked? Is that the plural? If there's multiple polka dancers, is that polked? Polked pork. All right. Let's see here. I am a master of
that you were looking for supplies. You know, that one, that's why I ask questions, because if we like these specific, like if I never got to you looking for supplies, then there's no way I could have known that this was just about some kind of an insecurity you have about the future. You know, I think you got to stop worrying. You know, I can't promise you that the world's going to be perfect, but I can promise you that if you have a good heart and you're seeking more and you're doing good for others, and if need be, you would help others with those supplies that you have found, you're going to be more than okay. So I want you and your wife to just give yourselves a high five and count yourself a very blessed man, that something that you're passionate about, something that you're insecure about, she shares with you. I think that's pretty cool.
All right, Jacob.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And by the way,
special woman.
Yeah, it sounds that way. Does that resonate with you?
It does. It does. It does make.
Yeah. Stop. Take a breath. Take a breath. You know, take a breath. Understand that there are bigger things to play here. You're going to be okay. You're both going to be okay.
Okay.
God bless you, man. So nice talking to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
All right, that was Stoney, aka Scott. So let's see here. Dex, are we good? Do I have you, Dex?
Yes, you do have me back.
Are you polka dancing?
Yeah, I'm polka dancing. We recovered. We're on the same one stream. We've got a little bit of time left. I've got another caller we can squeeze in. We got about 15 minutes left.
Let me just reassure everybody. Today's show is. How do they say that in German? It was a show, and it's the first of. So we are going to. basically, you can't really figure out how to do these unless you do one. And
I got to tell you something. I think
you
it's a
gotta find
smashing success.
Well, for the last 20
I know
minutes,
other
we haven't
people
been
aren't.
live. Yeah, we
Well,
haven't
and Adam,
been live.
Adam, since you were dealing with the technical side on your end, I just want to apologize to Stoney, who did take his time to call in, did start to share his call, and the majority of his call was lost. So when he does listen back, it's not going to be here. But Stoney, we do appreciate you. I was able to hear you and Jacob talking, but unfortunately, it did not go through on the stream for a big chunk of it. So Stoney, thank you though for calling in.
And we will get you back in. Of course, there's future dreams and there's future shows. So one thing that I think there are things that could have easily been fixed. But again, you don't know you have a problem until it happens. So with that being said, Dex, let's fit in our next caller. And looks like caller number 5. And let's get them in real quick before old stupid computer here does something more stupid.
Stoney's dream was a good one. It was a good one. We all do have a little bit of anxiety about things today.
And by the way, the Dream Catcher says, I just started a dream channel 3 weeks ago. Hey, well, it is a very great name for it. Great, the Dream Catcher. I'm surprised. I wonder how much competition has that same name, though. If you got that name, you are going to be sitting pretty on that. The Christina Faith, thank you. Eliza Nunez. And then it looks like we are popping in, and they're almost
Renee
in.
is now live, Adam.
All right, Renee, you are live on Marfoogle News.
Hi, Renee.
Hi, and Adam, by the way, I love the show tonight. I think it's great.
Well, thank you, Renee.
And I think
Hey. All right, Renee, I'm excited. Let's get right into it.
All right. So I do think it's probably relevant for me to tell you. I normally don't remember my dreams.
Okay.
But whenever I do, it always is in multiples of 3s, like 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I'm just looking for, I want to tell you this, because Stoney had 2 dreams, or I think it was Stoney, maybe it was somebody else, had 2 dreams. Let's stick with just the very last one you had.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
Awesome.
It was me and a group of people who I assume were probably friends. I don't recall who any of them were.
You said friends, right?
I could tell by the vibe that they were friends.
Now this stream,
or at least they seemed
this
like
stream
friends.
takes place during the day. This part
At night.
Oh, at night. Yeah.
At night.
Always starts in fear. Darn it. Okay, go on.
Great.
No, this is good. This is good. Go on.
So anyways, we were on this rooftop where we were, maybe a bar lounge or something.
Did you say rooftop?
And
You said rooftop?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Go on.
Okay. And I'm looking at the sky, and none of them really seem to notice us, but I'm kind of always that person. Anyways, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I noticed the moon, and then I noticed the moon starting on fire.
Wow. Okay.
Which was pretty freaky and effed up.
Were the other people looking at the moon, or just you?
It was only me. I was the one who kind of pointed out hey guys.
Got it. Okay, go on.
On fire. and then obviously people started freaking out, and I don't remember very clearly what happened after that. But it was just I have strange dreams. I always have.
Okay.
But that one was remarkably strange.
And that's the end of it. That was the end of the dream? That was the end of the...
there was some chaos. I vaguely remember trying to find my family or and trying to calm people down.
Still on the rooftop.
For some reason, I felt like it was okay that the moon is on fire. It was weird.
You were okay with the moon being on fire. Yeah.
Not that I was okay, but I felt like I felt like everything was going to be okay.
Be okay. That's that's exactly what I meant. That's it's pretty amazing. Okay, this is the sky was, it was not cloudy, obviously, because you could see the moon, right? Was it?
I don't recall clouds.
Okay, last question, and then I'm going to tell you what I think this has to do with. Was it a pretty sky?
I remember the moon being very big and almost seeming very close to Earth.
Right.
But I mean, I typically find that kind of stuff beautiful. So
right. Well,
sure, it was
let's
a pretty sky. It wasn't.
Let's hope that it's not, like a real dream about the moon catching on fire and something smashing
Yeah,
into
let's
it.
hope that's
Because a
not
lot
the
of people.
case.
Let's hope that you're not the one. You're not the one. I mean, of course, that could always be, but the fact that you were on a rooftop, very symbolic. There's a scripture that says, let those that are on the rooftop don't come down, stay up there. And being in night with the moon as big and close to you as possible, it's very, very significant, because the moon is significant of your soulish nature or your soul. The fact that you are the only one looking at it means that you're introspective, and you're actually probably in a moment in your life right now where you're analyzing yourself and you're seeing, how can I be a more, good person, or how can I be a more, if you're, say a godly person, more godly person. You're looking at the moon, you're looking inwardly, you're looking at yourself, and it's on fire. You have like a passion, but the moon wasn't consumed, right? It wasn't like, it didn't like go to a crisp, did it? It was just on fire.
Well, it was kind of weird. It had started out as like a ring of fire around the moon. Like,
okay, that could be like an eclipse, but but what I'm saying is, did it just basically burn away, or was it just always on fire?
It was kind of like when you see a solar flare curve around the sun, except it curved around the whole moon. And then the moon itself was on fire.
Almost
but
like a crown, like a crown around it, because we only have a couple of minutes, like a crown around it, almost like
you could put it that way, but then it does end up kind of burning, but not to a crisp.
Well,
like,
no, but you remember, hang on a second.
Becoming...
In scripture, fire is a very good thing. Christ is a consuming fire. A crown is symbolic of, you must be at a place in your life, maybe I'm wrong, where you really are leveling up spiritually. That's what it means to me. And as the chaos is around you, you're like, it's going to be all right. I think that you've entered your stride. Am I wrong or am I right?
I'm going through a lot of shit. Pardon my French. I have always been that way, though. I've always been very introspective, so I don't.
Are you
being
more hyper introspective right now? Are you looking more? Are you telling yourself it's going to be okay? Because I feel like you're entering your stride. I think that you're entering your stride, meaning, because you tell me in the dream, you're looking at the moon, symbolic of your soul. It's on fire, symbolic of Christ. Then you brought in, there was like a flare going around it, like a corona, like an eclipse corona, symbolic of a crown. You knowing, as there's chaos and stuff, you didn't sound happy, but you were okay with it. You seemed like it's going to be all right. I think that you're entering into your stride, meaning I think that you're going to start accepting that everything's going to be all right. That's what I mean. I think you're entering into your stride. I think that you're starting. Are you not reminding yourself these things?
Do
you need a reminder?
Do you need a reminder? I've had a very strange life. I've been dead. I've had a near-death experience with that.
But what about right now? What about right now? Because I think we may be at almost. I think we're out of time. He told me 6 minutes more.
Okay,
but let me ask you a question. Right now, at this moment, are you being more introspective? Are you, telling yourself things are going to be okay as things seem to be chaotic? Because your moon being on fire would be like your soul's on fire. God is a consuming fire. It's not pleasant. Mm-hmm. But you're entering into your stride. You're entering into a place where you're on the rooftop, don't come down kind of a deal. This is like an encouraging dream. It's not a bad dream. So I would think that you would be.
Well, that's good. It seemed like.
No. And that's our first dream. Like, that's what I said at night in fear. Right. I mean, that's what I said. It's like I was, because, you said you assumed that they were your friends, and that's usually that would be a dream that you would have during the day out in the park. But then I understood what that meant. You have things are going to be all right. You got to just, I would say, continue to look within, continue to, I mean, I don't know if you're a praying person. I always tell people to pray. But just remind yourself, like you in the dream, remind yourself, though the moon's on fire, though things are nuts around me, everything's going to be all right. I got this peace about things. You're entering into your stride. I think it's a good thing. And I think maybe you just needed to be reminded that you gotta remind yourself that,
Do I have time to ask you one more question regarding this dream?
As long as they don't stop us, yeah. Sure. I mean, I'm not like a psychic. I'm hoping
4
that
minutes.
the symbols work.
Actually, so just so you know, the show will continue over on basically it's going to be cut off of YouTube. If you want to continue to join, Marfoogle Jams usually runs long, so you can jump over to that chat and still chat with everybody. And also on D Live, it does not stop at that 2-hour mark. So either on Marfoogle Jams, where the normal shoutro is, or on D Live. So it'll be switched over to that in 3 minutes.
Cool.
So keep going. Ask your question.
Good.
Okay. Oh, hold on. There's a plane going overhead. Oh, it's really, really loud. Okay, so in my life right now, I went through a very traumatic event a few years ago that changed my whole life, and right now I'm going through a process where it's kind of forcing me to relive it. And I don't know what you mean by coming on the rooftop and kind of.
Yeah, I mean, well, you just told me you're going through a process, and you're looking at the moon and it's on fire, and that's why I said you're doing introspection. You must be looking at yourself, and I mean, you're coping. You're entering into your stride. You've done, it's kind of like you've been there, done that before, kind of a deal. The other people maybe not so much, which is why they're a little more stressed out. It doesn't mean it's going to be pleasant.
That part